Alright. Well, we're going to be one of the top players today because we're going to be one of the few players that even play this game. Looks like 4 people are online, including me and Algiff. So we're going to become pros at this soon enough. Alright, so we have a game going. I just need to go to the bottom left corner of the screen. Of course, you guys can't see that at home. Maybe I can move the webcam to a different corner. Edit. Move it over here. But of course, that might cover up something else in a moment. Games. Algiff. Load game. Oh, nothing's even changing on the stream. I might need to make it windowed mode or something. Let's see. Let's remove this.
I'll go into the stream, but I won't look at it so I don't see your moves.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see, window capture. Let's try window capture. There we go, I think that's better. To the bottom. Go. Greetings, ladies and drones! Cindex is facing off against Algiff here at the Brax Automotive Bowl today. We are getting a lot of interest on the fan scope. I am programmed to point out that the fan scope in several... Okay, went away before I could finish reading. Alright, so let's look at this here. Must pick up the ball by the end of this turn. Alright, so I do need to go get that ball over there. Let's get a good angle here so I can see the screen. Alright, so this is like a football game. I need to get this ball over here to this blue end zone. And the randomness, it looks like it sets up players randomly around the field. I have the blue guys, Algiff has the green guys. So once I pick up this ball, I have to somehow get around these green guys, either by running or passing the ball. The ball can only go forward. You can only run forward towards the end zone, and you can only throw forward towards the end zone. And you cannot make a run and then pass. Once you are running until that turn is done. I don't know if you get tackled or whatnot. We'll find out. Didn't really explain too well in the tutorial, but at least that kind of makes it interesting to try. So let's start out by pick up this ball. Giving him a waypoint there. So you set up waypoints, you set up your turn. Meanwhile, Algiff is doing the same for his green guys. He's setting up a plan of action here. So I'm setting up a plan of action that I need to get my guys to do in the couple of seconds before my guy picks up the ball, which probably won't go for very long. So I'm going to move this guy here. And maybe this guy here. I don't know. A lot of this, they're never going to complete this movement because he's going to pick up the ball really quickly. So, although I could like have my guy sit there for a while before he picks up the ball. I think that's an option. We shall see. Of course, I have Algiff in the room with me, so everything I'm saying and stuff he can hear. But that's no big deal. This is our first game playing, so it's a complete learning game for everybody here. Alright, let's try and get some positions set up. Alright, that looks good. And then what we do is we hit this play button to see how this will play out. But then we hit the prime button for our turn to essentially be locked in. You can play it to preview it, but you prime it to lock it in. So hit play. See, that's all that's going to happen before he picks up the ball. So these guys are still in the middle of their actions. And the turn's going to end. So we'll prime that. That's fine.
System primed.
Okay, and then we will either wait until Algiff is finished, or Algiff will already be finished, and he will just be waiting on me. And now we watch the outcome. Alright, so Algiff did make some moves there. Again, the moves didn't complete probably because I picked up the ball so quickly. So meanwhile, he has... all his characters still have their orders, but now he can change them. as can I. My guys all have orders. Now, based on what just happened, I can change what they're going to do now. And so can Algiff. If he wants to click on his characters and hit backspace and completely give them new orders, he can. That's the same with me. I really want to try something. I have a feeling it's going to fail miserably, but we'll see. I'm going to try this. Don't know what's going to happen here. But we can pick up their waypoints also and kind of move them. No idea how this is going to play out. Again, we're taking the turns at the same time, so I have no idea what he's planning, but I'm just trying to make my plans accordingly. This year's Madden got really weird. Yeah, no, this isn't Madden, Nick Nats. This is Frozen Cortex. I played their previous game called Frozen Synapse a number of years ago, and it was more of a tactical squad shooter in this same kind of format, as in a simultaneous turn-based. But now they made a football game rather than a shooter, and this is it. So, should be interesting. It's kind of rugby, football, chess put together. Alright, so I think I have, let's see, I'm going to play this out. And see, what you can do is you can also click your opponent's units and give them orders to what you think they might do. So I can click this guy and say, well, if he continues this way, say I can. Maybe I can't. I thought I could. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I just gotta double click, and I can essentially pick that unit, double click somewhere, and give it a waypoint, and say, okay, if this guy goes here, what will happen to my guys? So this is all theoretical. You can theoretically play out your opponent's turn, which gives it another layer of depth there. I know it's silly. It's a very small game, but I've been fascinated by the whole simultaneous turn-based thing, so this is exciting for me. Alright. But we'll play it out. First we'll see how... Alright, so that actually should work. We'll see here. We'll do that, and I think I'm going to have this guy go a little bit further, just in case he needs to provide a block or something. We'll see. So I'm going to have this guy go kind of here. Alright, we'll see what happens here. So we'll prime this up, and...
System primed.
Algiff has probably finished making his move, so now we get to see the outcome. Uh-oh. Okay, this could be bad. I did make a good complete pass. I blocked a guy from getting after my my passer, but now my passee... I don't even know who has it. Okay, it's the guy with the white... Okay, the white rotating circle around him. He has the ball, but if you notice, there is a green player dangerously close to him. So I need to try... I don't know. Fortunately, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how close this is or what, so we are going to... Let's see here. I think if I do it this way, it should be okay. We'll see. I'm a little worried now about my guys. And see, we can preview the turn there. We can preview the turn, and it shows us, according to our plan and according to what is going on in the field, what would happen. So we actually, let's see here. Yeah, that would not result in good things, so... Alright, this might actually work. And it all depends on what he has planned, so we'll prime
System
it,
primed.
lock in our turn, and see how this plays out. Oh, and Algiff is able to... Algiff takes down my receiver and actually gets the ball, so it was a turnover. Good job, Algiff.
From my end, I beheaded your receiver.
Yeah, it gets pretty violent with these robots.
Seriously, he took his head off.
Yeah, no, that's some of the animations they make in this game are kind of cool. But yes, you have the ball now, so now you have to get it to your green end zone in the north. But you're not exactly in the best position. I don't know what happened to my guy. He can still do stuff here, but you're kind of surrounded, unfortunately. I assume you can make some passes and things, but now that's up to you. You kind of have to make your plan of attack to get the ball over there. And I have to stop that from happening. Alright, so if I go over here, and keep in mind now you can throw the ball and it doesn't actually have to hit a receiver. You can throw it and it hits the ground and your guys can go pick it up. I guess in that way it's kind of like rugby. I'm not exactly sure the rules of rugby, but you can throw it on the ground and your guys can pick it up and continue running. So it's like a forward fumble. It'd be interesting if like my guy that you took the ball from was like disabled for a few seconds. I don't think that's how it happens. I don't know if that's how it happens. I doubt it. So, unfortunately, your guy is surrounded. So I have a feeling I'm okay here. Don't know. And then I'm gonna just like dogpile on this and see what happens. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna change up some of my other guys to get in some better positions. Now that I am technically on defense. Alright.
System primed.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And again, the turns are taken simultaneously, so as you see, I locked in my turn, and it says I'm committed at the bottom, so my turn's locked in. We're waiting for Algiff to make his turn. He can feel free to take as long as he wants. And the nice thing about this game, too, is you can get up and walk away, and your opponent has all the time in the world to take their turn. I'm not sure if there's like a day limit or something to how long they can take, but you can close it and then, you know, open it up tomorrow, and maybe he's made his turn by then. Obviously he just made his turn right now, but then you can just kind of close it and say, okay, we'll play the next turn tomorrow or something. You know, you got to get up and go. Alright, here's the outcome. Oh my goodness, and Algiff managed to get a pass off before I could send my 3 guys to tackle him. So Algiff has the ball, and I have to find some way to fix that. Now I have 3 of my players just huddled around one of his guys, which leaves my other 2 players to kind of manage over here, and I don't know what to do next. Algiff's going to make his plans now that he's on offense, but I have to find a way to either intercept or stop that ball from getting to the green end zone in some way. But this should be interesting. And again, you see these blocks on the screen. The lower blocks you see here can be, well, get a better angle. The lower blocks can be passed over. You can throw the ball over those, but you cannot throw over the tall blocks. And you cannot run over any of the blocks. So some things to keep in mind. All right, so wow. So he could, you know, move his receivers around, and he could, you know, just run it down a certain path. And if my guys are not in, see this circle around each player, each defender, that is your blocking circle. So if they run through that, they will get blocked. That is your blocking radius. If they don't walk through that, then they're fine. If their circles do not interact, I believe is how it is. Still trying to figure out all this. Played the tutorial, but that was it, and it was fairly basic. But again, I played the previous installment, the Frozen Synapse, the squad shooter, so I have a little bit of knowledge, previous knowledge on this type of game. Alright, so a little worried here. I think I need to play conservative because I only have 2 defenders between his ball and the end zone. So this is gonna get, I think if I stay here, I'm a little worried here. Okay, well, we'll make some plans here, and we're gonna give all these guys some new plans, so hopefully where's my guy here? What's this? Oh, wrong guy. Where's my other guy? Next unit. There we go. I'm in a tough spot here. But the thing is, he does have to advance forward. That's one thing. He can't go backwards. So we do know that. Alright, well, we'll see how this goes. Should work there.
System primed.
You'll see. Looks like he is still making his move. I have committed my turn. And again, and it looks like at the top right it says 8 turns until the end of game or overtime. So if somebody scores and then the turns run out, then you determine a winner. But if nobody has scored by the end of 8 turns, I assume it goes into overtime. And you just keep playing. Again, I forgot there's these squares on the field where if you run over them, you get points. You get 2 points for running over a square and 7 points for getting into the end zone. So if he gets one of those squares, he'll have 2 points on me. Alright, let's see. That's interesting. Now it looks like he's throwing it into the end zone. Now there's nobody there to get it, but he does have one of his players is on its way. Can I replay that turn? I can, okay. I can replay it and see what happened. And I did manage to, like, kick one of his players, and it slowed him down. I don't think it stopped him, and he's closer to the ball than I am. I don't know if I can get to that ball before him. I believe if he gets to that ball before me, then he gets 7 points. I believe. We'll see. Meanwhile, I was able to block one of his guys and stop him in his tracks completely, as you see that guy. When you're standing still, the static players have an advantage. That is a blocking advantage. If any moving character, moving opponent goes through their circle while they are just sitting there static, then they will get blocked. That. So that guy just got, you know, he just got stopped right in his tracks. Meanwhile, my other guys are running. It looks like these two guys are kind of... They look like they're still dazed. That was the guy that lost his head earlier from Algiff. And the other guy that I assume got... in the previous turn. They're both just sitting still there. Like, I assume maybe for a turn or two they are indeed disabled. They don't seem to be doing much of anything. I don't know how that affects this guy. And now here's the part where you can kind of play out the turn. And see how it would go. Alright, now, taking that information, I know that I did slow down his receiver there. So, now I gotta figure out what else to do here. Set up for future turns. Hopefully I will have them. Sometimes you don't want to do the predictable thing. I don't even know how this guy's going to be moving, so we'll see. Should be very interesting. I'm a little worried about this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out.
System primed.
Of course, there's always, you're analyzing one portion of the screen and then you forget about other parts of this field and you ignore them. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, I managed to get to the ball first, but he has got quite the group waiting for me there. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. I throw that there. I think he can... I'm afraid he's gonna intercept it. It's very possible. I'm gonna go for a theoretical Hail Mary and see what happens here. A little worried though. I'm pretty sure he can intercept it at this point, being this close, so... Apparently, your player may run backwards this turn and pass next turn. There's nowhere to run backwards to though. That's pretty much as far back as that guy can get. Ugh. Let me see here. It's possible. We're gonna see what happens.
System primed.
I'm not over-analyzing these turns. That's probably best I could. Like, you can spend... Obviously, you can spend days planning out your turn, because that's the kind of game this is, you know, you can just, it gives you, like, a certain amount of days before you actually have to commit a turn. So you could, if you wanted to, think about it and analyze it as much as you want. Or you can play a quick game like we're doing here and just kind of, alright, let's see what happens here. Was able to accomplish my goal there. But, if you notice, he sent two of his guys back. One of his guys was there to hopefully intercept, which he didn't manage to do.
I picked
Thank goodness.
the wrong guy. I didn't think you would pass into that one.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't think you could pass to that one because of that long thing beside it.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, if you get the right angle, you can pass right over those low blocks.
Yeah, but it'll let me know the angle if I'm passing. It won't let me know the angle if you're passing.
You can, I think you can analyze it, maybe. Yeah, you should be able to. Like, if you click the guy with the ball now, you can pull up that little dragging arrow and see where he is capable of passing.
I can pull up the arrow, but it won't let me pull it anywhere.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's because of that guy.
Alright, let's see here. So... I might have a breakaway here. Shall
System
see.
primed.
Alright, let's see here. But again, yeah, like I was saying, you can take, you know, you can play it an entire game in one sitting like we're doing here. Or you can, again, you know, just wait for... You can even have email notifications, kind of like, you know, play chess by mail, like they used to do a long time ago. Play chess by mail, you know, this piece to this square. Okay, now you mail, you analyze that and you write a letter to somebody across the country and say, alright, this is my move. I think they used to do that back in the past. Well, now it's play by email. You know, you might get an email. You can set yourself up to get email notifications when your opponent has played a turn, and then you can go back and you can play it at the same time. Go back and play it and set up to where they get an email. So it's interesting like that. I think this is much more fun to play with people you know rather than to play with strangers, like typical online games these days.
Go!
Alright. Well, there's the first points of the game. I did manage to get pick up a couple of points on the way and get into the end zone. And it's interesting, you can actually, to get more in depth, you can actually customize your teams and build teams to where players have specific stats. Like some players will have a larger blocking radius, some players will be faster, and some players will be better at intercepting. So it's it gets more depth to it like that, but this was just kind of a basic game setup here. So what happens next? I think if we hit next, it just resets the board to where I believe you go on offense and the ball will be closest to you.
I don't know, I hit next and now it says committed.
Okay, I'll hit next. I think that's what we're supposed to do, since I scored. Yeah, it looks like it just reset the pieces on the board. And now you are closest to... No, nothing's happening at the moment. It's just floating around the field. Is that what it's doing for you?
No, it's reset for me.
Oh, okay. Planning phase. Okay, so now... It's a very similar setup to whenever I started. So now, Algiff, the green team, is closest to the ball. Okay, and the end zones are just that little highlighted part at the edge, not the actual big, giant thing on the other side, So Algiff is going to pick up the ball and plan his attack to get that ball to the green end zone in the south. And I'm going to try and set up a defense. Now, one thing I thought about is that he can pick up the ball whenever he wants. He doesn't have to run straight to it. You know, anybody, they don't have to run straight to it. And that can give his team time to move into more advantageous positions before he picks it up. But this also allows me to do the same thing. So it's kind of a mind game thing there. Do you wait before you pick up the ball to let your players get into positions? Or do you go straight for the ball and get everything kind of kick-started? So I thought about that a little while ago, since I don't think you are required to pick up the ball right away, but you do have to pick it up before the turn ends, I think. Otherwise, I could just run, you know, send one of my guys straight to it and pick it up. Alright, so with that in mind, let's plan out some defense. Do I go man coverage or zone? And one thing is about this game too is if you have a clear path when you're passing, you could throw it across the entire field. So you always have to be worried about that. If they find just the right angle, you know, they could launch it to a guy on the other corner. You always have to keep that in mind. So you got to keep everybody accounted for. Alright.
System primed.
Shall see what happens here. What's up, Shark? How you doing? Playing a little Frozen Cortex. Who am I making these streams for? Oh, mainly myself. I'm actually probably going to take this particular broadcast and I'll probably cut it up and put it onto YouTube, since there's probably not a whole lot of YouTube Frozen Cortex videos, but I think it'd be interesting. And I do have a buddy of mine that actually watches a lot of my YouTube videos, just as entertainment. One of my actual real-life friends, he likes to watch the stuff I put up, so I think I'll probably take this and make it into a YouTube video, and then it'll be something for him to watch. And I think it's interesting. I like this game. This type of game. This is the first time I've ever played it, but I did like Frozen Synapse, the previous game by these developers, and so I'm actually having a lot of fun. I've been wanting to play this game for a long time, but I was being patient and waiting for it to go on sale somewhere. Alright. I like the little announcers on the side. Roy scoops it up on the pickup like a glutton with a tub of ice cream. Of course, the robot guy. Perhaps you're taking this a little too far. So. No, mainly nowadays when I stream, it's usually for friends. I stream for my buddies to watch and see this stuff. Otherwise, I could just play, but I figured some people would want to see this, since there's obviously not a whole lot of people playing it. But it's still a good game, in my opinion. Just because there's not a lot of people playing it doesn't mean it's not a good game. Or at least streaming it for that matter. Okay, I'm a little scared here. He seems to be moving his dudes into position for a freaking Hail Mary touchdown pass, so with this information, I've got to be very careful. I believe in order to intercept the ball, I just have to be somewhere between the passer and the receiver, and my guy, no matter how high the ball is, I think they just jump up and snatch it. I think. Don't know that, but I think that's how it works. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, see, whenever I drag this, I can kind of see what area I'm covering. That's kind of cool. So if he kind of throws in this cone, my guy will pick it up. To know. So if I this guy here. Alright, let's kind of make some adjustments here. So I can kind of... And see, he doesn't... And the thing is, too, I always have to remember, is he doesn't have to throw it to a player. He could throw it on the ground and send one of his other players to pick it up somewhere. So you gotta think about that, too. Okay, let's see what happens here. And it says your opponent has 3 passes remaining, so I guess you can only throw a certain amount of times. I didn't think about that.
I think it's 4 or 5.
Okay. Well, it says right now, it says your opponent has 3 passes remaining, so I don't know if maybe you start off the entire game with a certain amount of passes? Is that what it is?
No, I think if I don't score in 5 turns, I think then you get the ball. I think. That's what, because you went down even the one time you ran.
Okay, let's see here. And we'll prime
System
that
primed.
System primed. Alright, now we wait. We are committed. Alright, here we go. Outcome. Alright, well that was a short turn, but at least he's gained a little bit of information. So have I, so he needs to figure out what he's gonna do given his predicament, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do considering his predicament. Now in this way, I don't foresee him running anywhere anytime soon. I'm pretty sure as long as my guys stay static, he cannot push through them. I don't know what would happen. I think if he were to run through my guy as he was running, I think the ball would still be overturned. I don't know though. I would imagine there's some way to like push through somebody if you had the ball, but I don't know. Don't know that much about the game yet. But I also need to cover his passing paths. Alright, so we shall see what we're going to do here. Actually,
System primed.
Leave my plans the way they were. As they were already in a decent... I think the plans were already pretty good the way they were. But again, the nice thing about this simultaneous turn-based is that he can change his strategy up. And I won't know until the plans play out.
I made an error because I didn't realize a couple of things. So.
Ah. Well, this is a learning process.
Yeah.
But I like this game. I just like the rules and stuff, though. It's not football, but it's not chess, but it all... As the title says, if chess and football had a baby, it might be Frozen Cortex. I remember back when Frozen Synapse came out, gosh, a long time ago. Frozen Synapse came out 6 or 7 years ago? It's been that long. But I actually made a blog devoted to Frozen Synapse. That's how much I really enjoyed this game. I made a complete blog, and I had probably at least, oh gosh, I don't know, 30 to 50, blog posts about this game when it first came out, because I thought the game was a very ambitious and very interesting way of creating a game. Just the whole simultaneously turn-based. You have turn-based, you have real-time strategy, everything's going on at the same time. But to make it simultaneous turn-based, where you can't really do that with like a board game. Okay, you do your turn and I'll do my turn. Well, I can see that. I mean, Battleship is kind of like that. You're sitting right on either side of each other, but you don't know what they're doing, so you kind of have to guess. That's similar. So it kind of takes a Battleship kind of mindset to it. But it was just, I don't know, I felt groundbreaking to me. I just felt so interesting. I'm sorry, I'm sad to see it didn't take off as a concept. You don't see any other game like this, at least I don't. Frozen Synapse and Frozen Cortex are the two biggest ones I can think of. I don't know of any other games. I'd love to be corrected and find out what other games there are that take this concept further, the simultaneous turn-based. But again, as you saw earlier, there's only 6 people around the world, I imagine, online playing this game right now. 6. It's a $25 game on Steam, and you get 2 copies. $24, $25 game on Steam, and you get 2 copies. Which there's a sale going on in the Humble Bundle store right now, where you can get that for 33% off. So it's like $16.74, I assume, plus tax. So I picked it up. I was like, okay, it's on sale. I've been interested in this game for a long time. And so I picked it up, $17, and it gives you 2 copies. So I got a copy, and I gave the other copy to Algiff here, the guy I'm playing with. And I've been very excited, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to pay the full price because I wasn't sure. Still mixed on it. I love the concept and the idea, but I just wasn't 100% sure. But I picked it up today, and I'm having a lot of fun. There is a lot of depth to the game, and it's not so much the depth of the mechanics of the game that is there, but it's the depth of your own. It's like chess, you know. You can know chess really well, but if someone just kind of pulls some kind of weird thing you just weren't expecting, like somebody's playing unexpectedly, you have no idea what to do. Alright, looks like he tried to make a move and ended up getting overturned. And what I was thinking about earlier is, in that particular case, as you could see, he was kind of surrounded by my guys. You can almost move your pieces knowing that you're about to turn the ball over. So he could have and said, okay, you know what? He almost could have. You can almost intentionally turn the ball over and get your pieces set up for defense, knowing that, okay, there's pretty much nothing I can do here. So I was thinking about that while he was taking his turn, because it was a really tough predicament he was in. Now, I have the ball, and my guys are still in the center of the field, which is pretty good positioning, because now I have a little bit of freedom to go wherever. Unfortunately, as you can see in Algiff's case, he's got 2 of his players in his end zone where he could have scored, but there really wasn't any option for the ball to get there. So he is going to have to recover from this. And my guy is chilling out here at the ball, but we still got 2 defenders here, and he's got another guy on the middle of the field too, can use for defending. So now I just gotta figure out how to get my guys. I guess when it's overturned, your player may run backwards this turn and pass next turn. So at the bottom of the screen it says, it gives me some options. So, and it says it's 1 turn until the end of the game, so I think if I just survive 1 more turn, I think that will be the end of the game, and I should win. But I don't know how far backwards I can run. And I don't know what stops the clock if I just stop running. I don't know. I don't know how that works. We're learning. Alright, I'm going to set up for some different scenarios. And I guess after a while, it just stops the turn after time, depending on how much time has passed. So maybe only looks like maybe 2 or 3 seconds passed, and then it turns the turn off if nothing significant has happened. So that might be it. Alright, let's try that.
System primed.
Ooh, that's... okay.
You've won the match!
And that was the end of the match. So I think we played, I don't know how many turns it was.
Oh, YouTube upload.
Oh, interesting. I think you can upload the game itself.
Straight to YouTube.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I'm afraid if I don't want to stream any of my YouTube details or anything, so we'll see what happens. Let me see here. Record to YouTube, record offline. So I could keep the recording offline. I assume I think it's going to play the game and capture it. I don't know how long that'll take, depending on how all the combined time of the turns takes. Let's record offline for the first time and see what happens. When you click OK, this window will disappear and the game will be recorded. When recording has finished, you will be notified and you can continue playing Frozen Cortex. Anything you do during recording will be reflected in the video. Okay, so I don't know what that means. Anything you do during recording will be reflected in the video? I guess maybe moving my cursor around on the screen? I wonder if it's going to record my audio too, like my microphone. I doubt it. I remember Frozen Synapse had something similar. A similar feature. And you can directly, you could link your YouTube details and it would record and upload a video directly to your YouTube channel without you having to use a recording software, edit it yourself. So we'll hit OK. We'll just let things do their thing and we'll see what happens.